What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show, episode 177, The Last Job on Earth. Now, before I get through that, I go through all my stuff, my basic. If you like this podcast, if you've been rocking with me for a minute, first of all, if you've been rocking with me for a minute, I want to say appreciate it. If you see here, I got it's Red Rock, Golden, Ginger Ale. Oh my God. You don't need beer when you got that. Anyway, also, smack one of those descriptions, smack one of those links in the description if you would like to support the podcast. All right. Also, go to Patreon. Our Patreon site is building, is getting there. If you become a Patreon, you will get a discount on all merch and a whole slew of other things up there. All right, so just go check that out. That is patreon.com/LRPod. And join the tier, which is called LRPod TV. That's where the excitement is going to be at, okay? It's going to be booming over there, so y'all need to go check that out. Also, you can go over there for full podcast videos. And if you want to do that now, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is, same old. It's LRPod Live on YouTube. Check that out. Subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get all the notifications when I'm on. And that's what I'm going to be doing my live at, too. So I can touch the people. I can talk to the people. They can come on the platform, whether they're in their car, they in their driveway, whatever. They can come on the platform. Damn, my nose itching. Sorry. Anyway, check that out and become part of the machine. All right. So, I like to do podcasts that make you think, but also I like to do podcasts that's stupid. I love music. So if I like to give people, I won't say flowers because another podcast does that, but I like to give people, give them their props when I can. So that's why I do the appreciation. I like to give, different rappers, different artists, just artists, period, their props when I can, because music is a way to the soul. Music is the avenue to the soul, if you know what I'm talking about. But like I said, I can also go on the dumb shit if I choose to. And what I'm basically trying to do with LRPod TV is to mix all the dumb shit together. So with LRPod TV on, damn, I didn't lost thought already. What the? Patreon. I'm sorry. On Patreon, check that out. And I'm basically for you to make money, right? Have fun with the ladies. And I have some stuff up there for girls. But the basics on how to talk to women, how to, it's a lot of single people out there that's probably lonely, vice versa, girls too. So this will bring people together. Also, like I just said, how to make money, how to, all of the little things that I come across, all of the people that got the hustles that turned from a regular hustle all the way up to, they got the house, they got the cars, and they live in a good life. They don't have to punch the clock. The key is not punching the clock. And that's, a lot of videos and programs will be on, that section of, this whole network. And that is LRPod. All right, LRPod TV. So go ahead if you want to. No pressure. Check that out on Patreon. It's called LRPod TV and become a subscriber. All right, let's get to the show, man. Okay, like always, I got my notes here, and I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to get into this the best that I can, the best that I can manage. There is something coming down the pike that we cannot control. Now, you think you can control it, but you can't. So all I can say, and what I'm going to do for this podcast, and also on my Patreon, LRPod TV, is to get you prepared for what's coming down the pipe. And if you've seen this podcast before, you know I talk about this. I talk about what's coming down the line. I talk about how to, you can't avoid it, so there is no way to avoid it. It's just a part of history. Just like Rome went down, just like life changed for, somebody that had a horse and then automobiles was being thrust in. They're like, I want my damn horse. I could talk to my horse. I can sleep with my horse, all that crazy shit. And then eventually everybody went on to cars, and then, they tried to, try some safety features like a seatbelt. People was pissed off, like, why do I got to wear a seatbelt in my car? So these are transitions that we go through, and there's a huge transition coming. And I just want to get y'all. And a lot of people, you probably heard this all the time. And off the scene, this is how I'm feeling today. If you can't see me, I have on my blue shades. All right, I have a hoodie on, a light hoodie. I think this is a polo. I think, yeah. I see the horse. And the guy with the pole. Yeah. That's just how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling, I don't know. A lot of stuff has been going on. Trying to start this live show, and I'm just feeling chill. I'm feeling laid back today. I don't have nothing to drink, alcoholic. I got my Red Rock here, my ginger ale. So, since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, right? People usually made their food, planted their food. They went out and hunted for their food, whether it's deer or, buffalo or whatever, right? Now, that was the early days, and in other countries it was probably different, and it's probably the same way. You made your vegetables, and you went out and hunted for meat, and you used the hide for shoes and, jackets and all of that stuff to stay warm, and to actually cover your home, whatever your home was. Then there was a boom with oil. And once oil came, people was trying to track the oil. They trying to get where this oil and gold at. And a lot of people, basically went down dirt roads that was somehow through that process became clear, even if it was just two wheels lanes going down. And eventually these roads turned into paved roads, or some kind of rock, or they was somehow scraped from all the grass or whatever. And that created industry. So you had the oil companies, the railroad, and the steel companies. And that created the whole industry on how and why we work today. Okay, like I said, this is just in my country. The US is probably different in other places, but from my research, that's basically how it happened. Industry. And these guys, they started the whole factory shift. All right. And, the factory started with the mills that was making textile, and also making steel, producing steel for the railroads and any kind of equipment that you would need to transport the oil and to dig the oil up and all of that stuff. So all of this stuff created an industry that needed people to work there. So if you're just a regular Joe, right? You just gardening or making a couple little cents here, there was a job that you can actually go to for a certain amount of time, and you would get more pay. All right. As that built up, the workforce built. Okay. The crazy part is, I'm not sure about this, but I think even school was built in a way to get you prepared for the workforce, which sucks because it's still going on right now. For hundreds of years, right? We bust our ass. I'm saying humans, not me. I'm not that old, but we bust our ass working for shifts, with the safety. They just imagine the early days they didn't have no safety. They had no OSHA. It was just straight. If you fall in the machine, you get incinerated. All right. They give you incinerated. They give your family money, even if that, and they replace you the next day. Now it's a little bit more, better suited for the worker, than, the creator of that job. So we built cities off of this work. Then, next thing you know, these factory plants, people was making so much of, of lifestyle that now you had cars and the whole picket fence in the house theory came about, and people wanted a part of that life. Shit, I wanted a part of that life. Picket fence, house, I don't know about the picket fence, but just a fenced off house, fenced off backyard, nice little area for your kids to play, nice little area for, little man cave or whatever. You got the latest automobile and all the toys that came with it, right? And that's how things is. But things are about to change, and I hope y'all are ready for what's coming down the pike, because this one is a little strange in a way, because this is something that we have never seen before. Now, as AI gets stronger, smarter, we love it, right? We love that. I remember, I want to put a spotlight on my age, but I remember there was no cell phones at all. And we would go outside, we'd get on a bike, and everybody just ride. As long as you get back before the street lights came on, right? That street lights, boy, you had to be back before the street lights. Who remember that? But so that whole process of even getting into the driving world, I remember that you had to have a whole map book. So if you get lost, or some kind of fold out paper, that shit opened about this wide, right? To cover the whole front of the car if you unfolded it, right? So you have to pull over and sort of jot your way on this map. Okay, you didn't want to write on it because that would mess up the map. So you have to really do a lot of hands-on stuff when I came up, right? That changed. I mean, your phone tells you, even though you're not going home, it tells you it's 30 minutes from your house. Traffic is light. It's telling you this stuff. Now, there's a lot of things that's going on in between that. But for some people, they just think that, okay, we're going to stop right there. No. This gets more deeper than we can think about. Now, in today's show, I want to talk about the last job on earth. And I want to break that down. So, job creators has always been looking for a way to be more efficient and make more money. So they would try to get you in there for the lowest wage possible. A lot don't give you benefits. They just want you in there as a paid slave. Okay. Human labor jobs, they are the roughest, but you can imagine what kind of money, incentives the creators of those jobs make. So there is something coming down the pike that will help the creators. When I say creators, I mean business owners, for anybody who don't understand. The owner of the factory, the owner of that textile, the owner of this, the owner of that warehouse, the owner of that, that business. So there is a cloud coming. Some might look at it as a white, puffy cloud that just, doesn't rain. Some might look at it as a dark gray cloud that you just see the tornado swirling in the inside of it, right? So, human labor jobs and basically every other job that we know now would not be around in a certain amount of time. That amount of time, we don't know, we can't put a finger on it, but we know what's coming. So one thing that I know is first to go is factory jobs. You can see that now. You can see how you had Ford or Chevy, the dealerships, they used to have certain areas where you have a certain amount of people, whether they painting, they doing something to the car. Now they got this machine. This is just doing everything. And this shit can do that all day. It don't have to take a break. It don't have, a shoulder that feel like it's out of place, right? A headache. It doesn't have none of that. So other jobs that I think, I know is up next warehouse jobs. Now, warehouse jobs is, you probably just say your average warehouse job is pulling. So pulling would be you take a forklift, you put an empty pallet on it, and you go pull orders from this warehouse. You got to go up to a certain shelf, you get the material down, you stack it up nice, you bring it back to the front, and you wrap it up, put it on a truck, it goes. Now, you thought that was hard for some kind of robot to do. No. There are robots that can scale. They can scale the factory wall or the shelf. They can scale up. They can go down right to that particular pallet, pick it up, and bring it down, right? Or a box. They can grab one box. Again, there is no personal issues going on. There is no rent or mortgage being late. There is no depression. You know, this thing can go 24/7, right? Can you imagine a profit? Now, you would probably have one fee for this particular robot, and then probably like a constant maintenance fee, probably once a month or when it goes down or something like that. Other than that, that thing can run. So, driving would be also in that list. As you see them, they're working on automated cars now. Now, if you have a series of automated cars, just say, you know how people get on the highway now, they don't pay attention. They get on the highway going like 30 miles an hour. Traffic is definitely going by 70. And they getting on the highway. They don't look over right until they get in the lane. And by that time, here comes a truck or a car burrowing down. Now they got to switch lanes, or if somebody in that lane to their left, they got to slam on brakes while this idiot gets on the highway slow. If you have fully automated cars, as it comes on the highway, it gets in line with the other automated cars. And the radar will keep it at a certain distance, and these cars will roll probably a couple inches away from each other at top speed. When this vehicle is ready to get off the highway, it gets out of line and takes the exit ramp. The line continues to move up a couple inches off the bumper, and they keep going. And that's it. There's nothing else to it. It sounds like it would never happen, but they are working on it. So you have cabbies, Uber, Lyft, they're already working on automated vehicles. Now, the truck driving trucks, that is an industry that once it takes over, the other truckers that's sort of hanging in the midst would not be able to compete with that kind of work, because you are talking about, if you have two drivers in one truck and they run in teams, right? One sleep, the other one driving. Yeah, it's constantly going, but still, you have situations and things that come up that truck still have to rest, right? An automated truck, whether that destination is from New York to Florida or New York to California, it will get there. No issues. It don't even have to stop. Now, they're still working on technology to get these vehicles up to a certain distance on one charge. So I think they in the realm of 500 miles per charge right now. I am damn certain that there will be some kind of breakthrough that can get these cars up to 1,000 miles to a charge, or even 2,000 miles. Straight work eliminates a person that have to take a break after 10 hours, 11 hours driving. Pulling over, had to take a piss. All of that is eliminated. So these creators of these jobs will make profit over profit over profit. Call centers. When you got stuff like ChatGPT that's spitting out words, eventually there will be people that will be making calls, right? Just say you call a service center for any issue you have. Somebody answer the phone. You would not be able to distinguish if this person is real or if this person is AI generated. Now, I think there are a couple companies that's using it, but you can tell because you sort of hear that, the sound is going off or whatever. But it will get to the point that you would not be able to tell that you are talking to an AI program. So when that happens, that knocks out everybody that answers the phone and says hello. A wrap. All call centers are a wrap. Everything that has anything to do with you communicate with me for an issue, it's a wrap. Because if you see how quick you can type something into Chat GPT, right, and it just spits out. So you call a call center, like, yeah, I'm having an issue with my phone. Okay, sir, what is wrong with your phone? Well, I don't understand if this happens because my screen keep blinking, and it's able to go through the whole system of errors, right? Instantly. It actually will be faster than somebody saying, well, can I put you on hold while I try to figure out this situation? There is no more of that. Them days are over. Now, law enforcement, that's also on the list. That comes to camera situation. You already see that. I think DC had this a long time ago. Certain highways had cameras on it. Once your car get over a certain speed, the camera takes a picture of your license plate, voila, and you get that ticket in the mail. So AI programming will make cameras more efficient, cameras more cheap, and you can put them everywhere, and cameras more smart. And we do it every time when we sitting there on a filter, putting mustaches on or glasses on. It is scanning our face and it's putting in the database. So we are helping all of this and we don't even know it. So when it comes down to a car getting towed or something like that, that goes to the driving part or even repossessed, your car will basically sense or get some kind of notification that you are 2 months behind. As soon as that date hit, your car will leave your driveway or any little hidden area you got it in, and it will go right to the dealership. There's nothing you can do about that. Lawyers, goes to the same old, if you got any questions, ask them on the phone, boop, 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 boop. It tells you right there instantly. Can break down legal code, can write any contract that you need immediately. It will kill the lawyers. No more lawyers. And even doctors, as they got the machine arm that can basically operate on you way better than any doctor can. More efficient, and it is like everything is quick. Sew you up, it's right down to the milliseconds. And even let's jump past that with the nanobots that you can basically swallow, and it can go repair your vital arteries. It can clear up plaque. It can check your heart. It can do anything. That's coming down the pike. That will happen. So you have all of these situations, all of these jobs, and I can go on and on here, but I don't want to, take all that time. I can go on and on about all of these jobs. Name it, it will be replaced. It will be replaced. You got to understand something. A lot of people that I talk to about this is sad, and they say it's messed up. They can't do this. There's no way they can do this. Companies won't be able to thrive like this. That is not the case. Because you got to understand something. Companies won't have to worry about the basic human problems that everybody, that every supervisor, every company owner goes through. Call outs, right? And it's funny how any kind of bonus that a company gets, probably if your bonus is on, I don't know, Thursday, you will have a lot of call outs on Friday. Hey, they got an advance basically. 2 checks in one. So why even come in Friday? You already had that day cleared. Low production. Maybe some people just there, counting the clock and trying to do the least amount of work they can. and get paid the same. You understand what I'm saying? So another thing, vacation time, just the whole, process of making sure these amount of workers are working and these amount are going on vacation, and making sure that your production is still the same even though you got vacations coming up. And also workers' comp, people getting hurt, people getting killed on the job, right? So companies will replace all of those worries with one lump sum or payments for this device and just constant maintenance, like our cars already need. And that thing just sit there all day, 24/7. You have a whole line of then you can turn the lights off. They don't need lights. They don't need heat. You are saving on heat. Lights, these things can work they can work in the dark. So once they switch to AI and robots, it's a wrap. But there is a good side. And I've been waiting for the end to tell you this good side. The good side is these companies, like I said previously, these companies will continue to make massive profits. Massive incentives. So somehow the government will even hit them even more and sprinkle the money to everybody in some kind of monthly payout. There's a couple countries doing it right now. I think the oil companies of these wealthy countries, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing they do sprinkle their money down. That's why everybody got a Maybach or some kind of Rolls Royce, right? So as the company pepper sprays everybody with, I don't know, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, it's like you're going back to the time before there were no 9-to-5s. The time we don't remember because we wasn't there. Probably our grandparents were there. But there will be a time that we are back in the phase of maybe just laying around, doing things that you like doing, whether it's painting, riding bikes, exercising. I can't imagine that world where you get a certain amount of money per month automatically. But I think there's a give and a take from that also. I think that your pretty much all the luxuries that you look for today will be taken away from you. Let me explain. When you make your own money now, you can basically do whatever you want with your money, right? You can buy houses, you can buy clothes, you can buy shoes, you can buy guns, you can buy weed, you can buy whatever, alcohol, whatever. But I think in this particular situation, when the government is spreading out the money, sort of like EBT cards, right? Welfare. It's only a certain amount of items you can buy with those cards. So they already have the system in place. So another phase will probably be, and you probably see this going on right now, another phase will be people not owning anything. So I look at it as, it's like fuzzy in my head, but when I think about this, it's like free board, free housing, You would never be able to own a home again. You would never be able to own a car again because you will have free public transportation in a form of self-driving vehicles to get you anywhere you want to go. So that lays it out. I mean, the luxuries of now, the hustle and bustle of now, and getting what you want to get and buying what you want to buy will be flipped with you getting a certain amount of money per month from the government for the rest of your life, but you can only buy what's on the list, right? So that would be kind of weird. But you got to look at the other huge things, like there would be scientific breakthroughs, all kind of just crazy things that I can't even imagine. Now I can't even talk about it because I can't see it in my head. It would be in health, be infrastructure where you need, like I said, you need the infrastructure there for these cars to ride on the highway. These cars to just charge up while they're riding on the highway and able to get through all of the lights and all of that stuff. Sort of one big mass organized dance of vehicles on the road. Just lights, traffic lights will be eliminated. Because cars would just go right through full speed. But if there is no idiot human driving, looking down at their phone or doing whatever they do, you know what we do, you know how we do it, eating cereal and shit while we driving. That system of just cars going through the intersection without even hitting each other. Like I said, all this stuff is in my head. When it will happen, I'll never know. But I will say this. The day of the typical 9 to 5 is going away. We will see as your typical 9 to 5 hustle and bustle, give you just enough money to pay bills. That's it. And probably go on a vacation 2 times a year. That's it. So, what's the worst part of this scenario? Even worse than that. I say phase 3. Now, phase 3 is the unknown. The reason I say that is because the last job on Earth will be maintaining robots and AI software. That will be the last job. Working on these things that takes over the world, the warehouse, these things that takes over traffic, automated cars, they are the last jobs on Earth. But the dark side of this is when the day where AI will be able to update its own code without the help of humans. And a robot will be able to repair itself without the help of humans. And once that happened, they would just look around like, what we need them for? Humans are just in the way. Taking up air, destroying the planet, just lazy. Now they start calling us lazy. They are in the way. Sort of like how you build a subdivision, you got bear coming down through the woods. Well, the bear was there before you start building houses right there. The deer was there before you start building over there. But guess what? It doesn't matter because the bear have to go. The deer have to go. And that's the same thing AI and robots will say. The humans have to go. But the good thing is, anybody that's listening to this will not be here when that happens. All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. You have a wonderful day.
Peace.